other cats.
Who's tub thumping?
That'd probably be Mr. Moody down there, I think.
I'm pretty sure. So, actually, instead of joining Kahoot, maybe I should share the stream. That'd be a good idea.
Is it only on YouTube? Oh, no, it's on Facebook as well.
Nah. So they can do it on Facebook.
Cool.
Which is awesome. Because I feel like we get, like, I did it not on Facebook for a few weeks, only YouTube, and we got the same amount of views on YouTube. So,
yeah.
It doesn't really make a difference.
Oh, this Tom wins every single time, man.
G'day, Tom.
Yeah, Tom.
Jake's hairline. That's probably one of my mates again. We're going from bagging out Savs last week straight back to me.
Jake's hairline.
I can vape in the question time too. It's not as serious.
We early. Yes, Godsy, you're early. Join in on the Kahoot. Join the quiz. The podcast.
Timmy's Cactus, Timmy's Doodle. Is that like code for? Is that code for eggplant these days? Or I'm not up with the kids are up.
Nah, Cactus.
Oh, Timmy's like dead. Yeah, I get it. He's gone. Yeah. Fuck. Okay, what a dog. Fucking dog. That's one of you two dogs, isn't it?
Isn't that Tommy? Shouldn't it be that Timmy's carcass, not cactus?
No, Cactus is like dead, but carcass as well. I'm both.
Thing. Yeah.
You'll notice my name is Tub Thumping. The song, I get knocked down, but I get up again. You're never going to keep me down.
There you go. You heard it first. Tim Moody.
Tom J. Hello, Tom J. Welcome. Jake's
wow.
Wow. Oh, my God.
Might get disqualified if that name ends up winning.
Timmy's Cactus, put your rank in the comments. I want to make a bet with you by the end of. I want to make a bet with you.
Yeah.
Put your rank in the comments.
Yeah, tell us what you ranked, James Austin. I'll see you around 27, my man.
Oh, but ranks aren't relevant.
Why not?
Oh, because as we've learned from the Twitter world on the weekend. Oh, Jesus.
Controversial. But we aren't like that.
What? BMM.
Ryan's. With this one, we figured out how to do the questions and the answers on your phone. So you actually
so you don't have to...
at the same time, and you'll be scoring live. So you won't have like a 5-second delay to actually see the question. So, which gives these two guys an advantage, which has now been slashed. James Austin, there we go. Timmy, about 23K. I'm slowly catching up.
Oh, good. There you go. Good. I thought you were going to say something like.
But he's changed his name, so.
No, that's okay. I don't take it personally. Fucking, I like a bit of stick, and I do like. I like to be held accountable, so I can lift my shit.
Yeah, Daniel Warbury, we're just doing this SuperCoach quiz, and then we'll kick it off.
Yeah, we're going to talk about SuperCoach soon, buddy.
That's how we kind of run it.
We're just warming up. We're warming in.
Bit of audience engagement.
Letting a few join in. We obviously don't want to chime in with all of the gold at the start when no one's in, so we'll save you those bits of Easter eggs for the end and throughout the show. Dino has no clue. Welcome to the show, and we've got what's Rational Dove 65. I like that. Mortalo's arm. I feel like I've picked the best avatar. I like Burgerface with the pirate on it, just weird, but I like my unicorn with silly glasses. I think that's quite fun.
That's how Tim's rating all these with his little face.
Yeah, I need some unicorns. That's why I picked the unicorn.
Ooh, We'll go 8:15, so we have a couple more minutes, I think.
Yeah.
Talo's arm.
Dodgy.
Oh, this one's for you, Tim Moody. Loving the mo. Of course, Sav's shaved his off.
I did.
It's
I
definitely
don't
the
like
best at the moment. Savs took his off to almost wanted to have, assuming that was the case. Is that right, Savage?
Sorry, you cut out.
Yeah.
I cut out, did I?
Yeah, you did.
You shaved your mo, and that was for a wedding.
No, it wasn't. I actually still had the mo when
What
the
are you
wedding
doing,
was on.
bro?
No, you keep cutting out, Timmy. That's all, mate.
Really?
No, I reckon he's missed that time to shave it.
No way.
What?
Here's me mate, Josh Camplin. Has Jake gotten any better at SuperCoach? Yes, I have. I've quite an interesting rank, which I'm sure we'll get to in the thing when we actually started off. All right, one more minute.
Countdown to the start of the show. We've probably got. Yeah, we're kicking off.
We're kicking off. We'll give it another 30 seconds until my clock hits 8:15. Last chance to jump in. See if anyone can knock off Tom. I think he's like a 3 or 4 time winner of this, so surely someone can beat him.
Tom's a bot.
Tom's a bot.
All right, let's go.
All right, let's go.
Yo, Kahoot at home.
Who is the highest averaging fullback? Nick Meaney, Latrell Mitchell, Reece Walsh, or Jermaine Osako?
That's tricky.
It's a tough one.
I fell for that. I fell for it, I think.
I mean, you fell for it. Reece Walsh still holds the top.
What? I thought it was going to be Jermaine because he was like the top scorer for quite a while in SuperCoach in general. A duel.
Here we go. Our favourite, or Sav's favourite question. Who has a birthday today? Isaac Liu, Xavier Savage, Drew Hutchinson, Jesse Ramian. So you got a 50% chance of getting this because 2 of them have a birthday today.
I know Mitch Rain has his birthday today. And I was like, I've got this question. Yes.
So if you had Isaac Liu or Drew Hutchinson, you got it correct.
Tom studied.
BMM, not far behind. None of my names are there. Who is not in the top 5 most traded in? I actually didn't check this recently, but I'm pretty sure it's still the same. Jared Croker, Joe Tarpanay, Robert Jennings, or Joey Manu?
I think I just checked it.
Jared Croker. I'm hoping that hasn't changed.
Anyone else on 0 points? Don't worry. Join the club.
Are you throwing for content, eh? Dodsy!
Yeah.
Who has the highest break even this week? Nathan Cleary, Jacob Kiraz, Ruben Garrick, or Jaden Campbell? Well, I go and check.
I think I've got this one.
Probably changed.
But I'm saying, oh, fuck.
No, it hasn't changed.
No.
Tim Moody's still on a big duck egg. This is embarrassing.
At least it doesn't come up on screen.
You have to put these in order. So, Order's highest to lowest, the round 8 scores of these players. Adam Fanil Blake, Jarrett Wallace, Moses Sully, and Scott Drinkwater. I didn't include the big dog, Stephen Crichton. That was a bit obvious.
Why is there a photo of Lewis Brown?
Because he was a very high scorer back in the day, wasn't he, Savs?
Yeah, he's pretty good. Oh,
Man, Jarrell Wallace, Scotty Drinkwater, Aaron Black, Moses Sully.
no, I got Fanua Blake and Drinkwater the wrong way around.
That's right. You still get, pretty sure you still get points for if you get them in the right order. Oh, Dodsy. Tom's going to lose his spot. Multi-select. Double points. Who has not scored 100 plus this year? Adam Reynolds, Ben Hunt, Ronaldo Mulatalo, and Ewan Aitken. Can be more than one.
This is a good question.
Ronaldo and Ewan Aitken have not. So you have to get both of them to get max points. And the last question, I loved writing this one. Ooh, Dodsy and Legend Eagle. Last question. What is the correct spelling of Fa'asumaluai? Malawi.
Fuck, that's a good one. Fuck me dead.
Jeez, they all look the same to me. Fuck.
Yeah, it was that spelling.
I got 10.
Fa'asumaluai.
Just like my head-to-heads last week.
All right, let's see. Podium, third place, BMM, second place, Legend Eagle, which means first place. Dodsy.
Dodsy.
So, just send us a message with that screenshot of you winning, and we'll potentially get you in the grand final or some sort of prize at the end. So let us know.
Sweet. All right. Are we going to get this shit underway? Let's do it.
Let's kick it off.
All right. Tom Trbojevic!
Get ready for a Tommy Turbo Masterclass. Tameless Tuesday is here. And the boys are hard as a rock. Don't be a weak-gutted dog. Leave that for Jamin Salmon. Get ready for the best SuperCoach show on the planet. It's so good, it's better than Lego. You're now listening to the SuperCoach Experience Podcast. Here's your host, Brandon Savage.
Guys, welcome to the SuperCoach Experience Podcast. I'm your host, Brendan Savage, the coach of the Jamin Salmons. We are fresh off a long week of SuperCoach. Just started on Thursday, finished this morning, and now we're already into round 9 chat, and we have very limited time. And this, I mean, we used to record on Wednesday night, guys. I can't believe that we left it this late for us to leave our run, but I'm here joined by Jake, the coach Kiss My Behinds. How are you, Jake?
Yeah, good, mate. Another all right week. Not as good as you, but Sharky's got a win. Went all right in SuperCoach. But, yeah, this is, I mean, a late start to SuperCoach, and a lot has happened for this weekend. It's pretty crazy.
It is absolute carnage, and we're going to help you dissect it. We're going to try and keep it, I guess, short as possible, just so you can get as much listening time into it as possible before starting the SuperCoach week. I am also joined by the 2021 champion, Tim Moody, the coach of the Villi Army. How are you?
Yeah, not too shabby, man. Pretty excited for footy just to start a new round after last week. It was pretty woeful for me. 0 from 10 in head-to-heads. And, yeah, about, I think it was top 45% for the week for overall. So, no good. But we're on to next week. I'm just very nervous. I would like a nice, clean, easy week to try to bounce back. And this looks like a week that's going to be hard to do that, but let's see what happens.
How are we looking, lads? How are we looking this year? And how are our sides sitting? I'll start with you, Jake.
Well, ranked-wise, I am 1-1-1-1, which is quite crazy, all the ones in there. I'm glad there's not another one on the other end. But this week I'm sitting all right. I don't have Haas. I don't have any Melbourne players. So this week I'm sitting all right. I mean, last week not having Hearts and not having Melbourne players has been quite crazy, but it's looking good this week.
That's
just
so
say that.
Weird. Yeah, nice. Wish I was in your shoes. Fuck.
1-1-1-1. This is Timmy's dream number. Timmy, how are you sitting I mean, trades, plans, how are you looking and what are you looking to do moving forward?
Yeah, so look, shit sort of hit the fan. I've wanted to be conservative. The last 2 weeks I've boosted, and that was not my plans at all. I've just sort of, been playing Panic SuperCoach, and it's not ideal. But yeah, overall I'm sitting 7,000, I think 400th. Trade wise, got 32 boosts. So yeah, look, I think the plan's to not use any more boosts now until after Origin, and regardless to what opportunities present themselves and how desperate I might feel to want to use that, I think I'm just going to have to, stick the trigger finger back in my pants.
It's real. Trigger finger back in your pants. It is a weird saying. It's a bit weird. Like I feel like this is the first week of the year that we've really felt it. I guess apart from Jake, just the carnage that happens. Like for myself, I've got Munster, Eli Katoa, and Harry Grant, and I've also got Payne Haas on top of that. Also Nathan Cleary on top of that. Also Tom Trbojevic on top of that. I think this just solidifies the fact that you can't stack too many players from the one side. Knowing they've got a bye coming up, I think you can do it if you're confident that they're not going to have a bye coming up, and then you plan to sell certain players before a certain point. But man, it bites you in the ass when it comes up on you unexpectedly. Jake, I guess we'll start off the show today. We're not going to go through winners and losers of team lists because we've really got to dissect what's going on here. And
there's a lot of losers.
Yeah. My first topic is buy players. So Melbourne Storm, your Cameron Munsters, your Harry Grants are the main ones I want to talk about. Eli Katoa is a different beast. I guess we'll talk about him in the same bracket though. But these players, are they a sell before Origin? And where do you rank these guys in terms of sells?
The problem is that they're both the top of their respective positions. So Munster's best 5'8", Harry Grant's best hooker. If you don't have a backup option for this week, you could be playing, say, Isaiah Katoa and Sonny Luke, which is not ideal. You're kind of losing a lot of points to someone that doesn't have a Harry Grant, or like yourself, who has a Damien Cook as his second hooker. So I don't know. If you plan on selling them in, before Origin, maybe this is the week to do it. I mean, it's not a nice one because they'd have, still three rounds until that. So it's 3 rounds missing out on the potential top scorer of that position. So I don't know. It's a hard one. I mean, you guys are owners of these players. Are you selling?
Timmy, I think they are sells.
I don't know much stuff.
Yeah, I think they are potential sells before round 13, but I don't think both of them need to be. I think one or the other. Where do you sit with it as a Harry Grant owner? Have you toyed with the idea? I think the fact with Harry Grant, there's no obvious second choice.
I think from my side, I'm probably going to try and hold on to him and potentially, if possible, if Sonny Luke can do a little bit of something before then, try upgrade him to maybe the cheapest of the options that look okay for the first buy. So there's a few of them there. Last year I was going to go a bit wonky and go with not Jared, buddy, Coker from the Manly side. I'm not sure what he priced at, but I've got a feeling it's not going to be. Yeah, and he sort of did quite well and matched a lot of the other blokes that with the higher sort of players of interest. So I don't know. Harry's one I'm holding right up until 13 for sure, though. Just especially after last week and seeing how easy he can sometimes score those bigger ones, how hard it is for the others to do it. Like, you read Marnies and stuff like that. So Jeremy Marshall-King looks pretty good. I like the way he's playing footy. He's running a lot from dummy half, especially on the back of, a quick play the ball. And he just runs very straight and very fast. And, there's a bit of potential there for line breaks and, offloads and stuff like that when he does that. So he's probably the one that's impressing the most. But, Wade Egan also looks good, but he's missing a bit of footy due to, the concussions and stuff like that. So it's hard to get a read on that one.
Just on those two options, the Dolphins have the bye in round 11 and the Warriors in round 12. So if you're going, say, Harry Grant to one of these playing hookers because you don't want to play Sonny Luke, you're going to run into the same problem in 2 weeks. So just keep in
Yeah.
mind that one. I think Reece Robson hasn't looked that good this year, but at least he doesn't have a bye until after 13. So he's potentially the better of the bye hookers.
Mm.
Jake, I'll just hit it straight back at you. Cameron Munster is absolutely killing it at the moment. I guess there's a bit more to choose from in the 5'8" position. Not that much to choose from, though. You've got Matt Burton. I wouldn't really consider him because he's not playing 13, but the main ones, Dylan Brown and Cody Walker. Any of them worth getting in for Cameron Munster based on round 13 buys, Origin coming up, etc.?
I think Dylan Brown's probably the pick. I have Cody Walker, but I got him weeks and weeks ago where he was much cheaper. But Dylan Brown, I think Dylan Brown's probably dropped to his lowest he's going to be. Eels, although I haven't looked too good, are playing a lot of weak sides, like all the way through the buys. They play every buy as well. So I think Dylan Brown's probably the pick of them. You're getting at him at a discount. But again, it's a hard sell. But if you're gonna, I guess, get rid of Munster during the Origin period, and then don't want to play whoever your backup 6 is, then I think Dylan Brown's probably the best option.
It's a really awkward time to sell, isn't it? Because he's killing it, and
just scored 99. So
and it's not that close to Origin. Like Origin is still.
You got 3 games. You get 3 games with Munster.
Yeah, 3 games with Munster before he goes off to Origin. So that's a potential 300 points, which Dylan Brown, he could get 180 in that period, which is a massive difference. And yeah, I'm not seeing enough from Dylan Brown to make it as a downgrade option, but because he is so expensive, he's banking cash to upgrade elsewhere. So maybe because of the lack of cheapies, it's the way to go. I guess moving on from
just on Munster, sorry, before you do, if that's okay, I just wanted to point out, the draw is a little bit awkward. He's got the Bunnies after this week, after the bye.
Yep.
And then he goes into Brisbane, and then following that, the Dolphins just prior to round 13, the bye, so and Origin period. So Dolphins are pretty defensively minded. So I think there could be a case for it. I don't mind what Dylan Brown's doing. He hasn't been scoring those line break tries that he can often do when he's running the ball. He also hasn't really set any up recently through like line break ones. They've been kicked up, and he's kicked 2 try assists he had last week were both from kicks, and the week prior to that he didn't have. I don't think he had any, and he just had 2 forced dropouts. So he's definitely getting a bit of ball near the line. We're just that he could maybe run it a little bit or give that ball to Laney like we've been hoping. So I don't mind him.
He's a very good one, and I think he will warm into it, and I think his run is coming. But yeah, 100% agree with you. I guess back to Munster's draw, he actually averages quite well against them 2 sides that you mentioned, the Rabbitohs, and who was the other side?
Broncos.
Brisbane.
Broncos. So he averages really well against them too. So it's a lot harder than it looks on the surface. Eli Katoa, what are we doing with him, guys? Any of us owners?
Yeah.
No, but if I was, I think I'd be selling him. It might be an easy way to get a front rower that I'm sure we're going to talk about soon, but I think he's a sell. I think I'd rather be selling him over, say, a Jacob Preston or a Zach Hosking.
Yep. Timmy, with Eli Katoa out 21 on the weekend with a HIA, he looks like he's going to drop a bit of cash, but he does have the potential to go back up in price again, but it is a very awkward one. What are you doing with Ellie?
Yes, I was chatting to Wilfred earlier today, and he sort of pointed out that he had a category 1, and the fact that the 11-day stand down, he would already have missed this week anyway if he didn't have the bye. But so he sort of said that it's 11 days between now and his next game, so he's not sure if he actually falls under that or not. So that's something we've probably got to find out. If he does, if that is 11 days or the 11 days are done. It's like it depends how you count the days, I guess. It's probably a weird thing to say, but yeah, I'd be looking into that. I think I'm going to hold just because the price is low, and I think that I just don't have like a downgrade that I love or an upgrade that I'm that in that position. So I'm probably looking more to sell other positions myself this week.
Very interesting. There are a few options to go. I guess we'll speak about them shortly when we go through it. But the Melbourne's next game is Saturday, the 6th of May. So today is, I guess, just based on category 1. Today is the 26th.
So do you count yesterday as 1 and
5s? Fuck, I got it wrong. Where is it? So Tuesday. Wait, May. Is it May? No. Sorry. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So 6 is right on the 11th. So I don't know if he's going to be able to play or not.
The fact that he won't be able to do contact until the 11 days, I don't think he'd be playing. So I think that's why it's a good sell. I mean, it was a bad one as well, man. He was.
Yeah.
So I think
seeing stars, the little birdies were flying around his head and shit like cartoons.
You saw with Meany how he kind of had late symptoms. They kind of just rested him anyway. I don't think they're going to take any risks with such a serious HIA like that.
That's true. I think he's a more convincing sell now, especially when there are a few good downgrade options for the front row. If you don't have a problem in the front row, then second row is a bit thinner. But I guess we'll just go to this question quickly. Dodgy says, are you team SC Whisperer or SC All-Stars?
I know. Both seem like good blokes.
Yeah,
I'm just going to sit back and watch. I'll cheer for whoever wins.
For those of you who don't know,
favorites.
If you don't know, just have a look at Twitter. You'll find out there. Cleary and Taruva. I guess more so Cleary. Cleary plays late in the round. Under some doubt because of some groin issues. That's why he didn't goal kick last week. But Cleary obviously would have been a popular captain choice this week. Now I'm not so sure. What's our gut feeling? Looks like my gut feeling he's not going to play. The fact that Jack Cogger was rested in New South Wales Cup makes me think he's not going to play. But at the same time, I think Kurt Falls is probably the person that would come and fill in. So maybe.
I think Jack Cogger. I don't think Kurt Falls is even in their 30.
Sure.
It's just going to be a half, really. But with it, he was going to be a popular captain option. But I don't think you can take that risk. Majority of people have Hines and Cleary. If you have a captaincy on Cleary, you're not going to be able to get rid of him, and you're going to cop an AE regardless. In a round that you're potentially going to get more than one AE or have one non-playing player anyway. So I think it's too risky. Yeah. Make sure you have a player that you can reserve instead of Cleary if he is laid out. I guess same with Taruva as well.
And Hosking. There's a lot of – this is why I'm worried about our week, Savs. And you mentioned a lot of you're concerned about. There's extras you need to – I'm hearing that potentially Isaac Luke. This is from the Guru.
Sonny Luke.
Potentially Hosking. Sonny Luke. Hosking, Cleary, Taruva. I'm not hearing anything about Toto, which is nice. But 4 of my 5 Panthers players are in hot water by it sounds. It's not good. It's not good. And I think Panthers can do it. They've got an easy matchup. They probably want to get some game time in these guys that are going to cover for them over the Origin period. It just seems like the perfect time to do it, especially with a couple of niggles. Like Taruva's got a niggle. Why not cover him?
What'd you call him?
Cleary. Taruva. What's his name?
Sorry.
What's wrong with us?
No, you spoke a bit fast and it sounded like something. Savs thought it sounded like
okay.
Anyway, we'll move on.
Yeah, we'll move on. Cleary Taruva. So I guess with them guys, put them on your bench. Have a backup plan for them. It's a pretty grim week as it is, so I don't know if you're going to be able to cover them. But do your best. I wouldn't be selling because they don't have a bye now until round 13. So I like both of them. Payne Haas out for 1 week with that hip drop tackle. None of us own Payne Haas here except me. Am I correct?
Mm-hmm.
Correct. Wish I owned him.
If you own Payne Haas and front row is dog shit, he's selling someone to maybe have a third front rower, because I was in this position. I think I need to do this anyway, because I was in this position the other week. I panic bought someone, which worked out, but in the long run, might not work out again. I think you do need a third front rower in that spot to cover for these sorts of things, because you don't want to be selling Payne Haas for a 1 week play.
Yeah, I agree. I'd hold him as long as you can. I'd probably even try not to sell him. It's just an awkward position to try get back into your side. I don't like trading props too much. In saying that, I'm probably trading a prop this week. I think I'm going to upgrade Utakamanu.
Upgrade Utakamanu. Oh, who to?
Probably to Tarpany, whichever way you want to say it. I don't know. I'm really nervous on how to pronounce names at the moment, because I don't know what Savs was doing with that other one. But
I'll tell you after the show.
All right, cool.
I think a lot of people are actually having problems with their front row this week. Haas is the most
Welch for me.
owned. Welch as well. Melbourne have the bye, so potentially teams are without 2 front rowers. Can use it as a free loop, I guess. Otherwise, I mean, Welch is obviously probably a trade out. I wouldn't be trading out the front row one that's going to finish overall. Payne Haas. Is Stefano a decent enough play this week for you guys?
Well, here's what I wanted to bring up. I just looked at Utakamanu. This is why I'm not confident. His highest averaging team that he's ever played against is the Panthers. His scores are he's played twice. His low score is 71 and his high score is 83 with an average of 77. So why is that? Is that because in those games they need him for more minutes? Is that
I think every time that they've played them, Panthers have rested their players. It's either been Origin or rested. I think last year
that could be a sign this
they
week
rested
too.
their players and they end up winning.
Isn't that funny? They did this thing, this exactly thing last year, and it wasn't even after a bye or anything. It was just a regular season game where they just rested all their players. The disrespect the bloody Penrith have to the Tigers.
Maybe with Ivan coaching, it feels like previously he's got a bit of a inside on a few of the players too. So.
It's a really interesting one. I'm just going to get the odds up for the line, because I think that's actually a pretty good bet to bet on, especially if Penrith pull out all their players. Penrith Panthers, what have we got? Handicap. So the line is plus 18.5 on Picklebet for $1.83. I'd be jumping on. I'd prefer to put my money on a winger for $1.83 rather than trusting the Tigers. I know they held their own against Parramatta, and Parramatta were pretty full strength a couple of weeks ago. So, I mean, you could make a little bit of a case for the Panthers still. They also held their own against Manly on the weekend.
Yeah, but Manly, they're cooked, mate. Too. I mean, they're coming second, but they just leak it. They just leak points like all over the place.
We're coming second, mate.
So I guess back to some options, I guess, for front rowers. Say you're trading out Welch. I think me and Timmy are both going Joey Taps. I don't think we're trading out Welch, but we're both bringing him in. Discount options, other front row options that people might want to go to. What do we think, boys?
There are a few good ones. There's a lot. There's 3. Actually, there's not 3. There's only 2 in the top traded in this week that are interesting. Adam Fanua-Blake's at number 3. 600K though.
Someone here's got him.
I've got him
after a ton.
600K. I bought him at 544 2 weeks ago, so I am absolutely stoked. I think it was a bit of a Hail Mary play, and the fact that he was staying on the park and the Warriors were playing a good brand of footy, I think just the fitness was exactly what I was happy to see. And these front rowers, when they have a chance to have a ceiling, I think that's where you can get ahead, because these front rowers don't really have a ceiling, and that can be a point of difference for you. So I do like the Fanua-Blake buy this week now. I don't know, but I can't.
Pros and cons. Okay, because the way I've assessed it, sort of thing, I was looking at it, I was considering him over to Pine, just because he could make a bit of money as well with that low BE. I think it's like -1. You know, the negative side of it is that he scored last week and the week before, which inflated his scores. Last week, take away the try, still scores amazing. The week before, take away the try, not a great score. So not too shabby, but, you could also look at a positive point would be the fact that, Tohu Harris has gone out. They're a bit thinner now. They might rely on him a little bit more. They've also lost Jazz Lavunga. So, yeah, there's definite plus signs to look at potentially him as a buy. But, yeah, I just think that, I don't know, like the tries, are they going to come every week? And if they don't, I don't think he's going to have too many 70s, let alone another 100 for a while. He might have he had a 70 without the try assist, but without the try, sorry, but
he played 75 minutes on the weekend, and that was because the Warriors bench was absolutely cooked. They had nobody back on their bench, and I've watched his minutes closely. I've looked into them, and he never plays more than 50 minutes each week. This was an outlier this week with the try. The fact that he can score tries for a front rower is exactly why someone would want to get him. Does have a buy around 12 though, so I think that's the clincher for me. I got him 2 weeks ago knowing he had the buy in round 12, but that was 2 weeks ago in round 6. I still had 6 weeks to go and sort out another option in my front row as backup. But if he's a second one and you've got a third option, I think go for it. But if he's your only second one, I don't really like it. There is another option, Tofofo Sipley from the Manly Sea Eagles. He's coming off the bench and playing 45 minutes with scores of 47 in his first game and 61 on the weekend. 51 his first game, 63 on the weekend in 43 and 44 minutes, 358K with a -7 break even. I think I'm going here this week just because 350K and it's a backup guy. It's a guy you just want to plug a hole. You're not going to play this guy as your third or fourth reserve every week. This guy is just going to be there purely for that front row cover.
Yeah,
I like it for round 13 because.
Yeah.
Sorry, go ahead, Jake.
No, I was just going to say it's an interesting one because I guess he's cheap. He's scoring well, but historically he hasn't really. I mean, he's occasionally got the minutes, but he hasn't really scored anything significant to, I guess, warrant being a third front rower. But I guess if you're playing them this week and you're probably not going to play again until 13, I can see it. I mean, he's going to make a bit of cash.
So last year he averaged about 25 minutes. Every game he played more than 40 minutes. So there's a 42-minute game here for 43, a 41-minute game here for 85, a 44-minute game for 33, and a 41-minute game for 74. So I think he's the type of player that probably needs above 45 minutes to score enough. But I guess just looking by that history, he's never got the minutes. And is it going to continue the fact that he just doesn't get them? I don't know. Under a new coach, maybe it's a different story this year. So I'm pretty happy to take the punt. And the fact that he plays round 13 is...
Yep. In round 13 to Jakey Trbojevic and also Al-Kawatu most likely both be playing State of Origin, which will help his case of having more minutes there. Obviously, they'll probably give more minutes to the likes of Kepi and bloody, what's his face? Woodsy.
Yep.
Where's Woodsy this week? He's out of the
18th man.
Yeah, right. Okay, yeah. So, yeah, that's pretty handy.
He's 2 from 2 with Manly. Woodsy?
He's made a couple of mistakes. So he's made a few crucial errors, and I think that might have been sort of what, got him out as opposed to somebody else.
Just a bit slow, isn't he?
I guess before we move on from the front rowers, a couple I want to throw in there. Discount options. They're dual as well.
I've got one.
Corey Horsburgh.
That's the one.
He's been playing 70 minutes the last 2 games. Who knows what Ricky does with his minute rotation, though. But starting lock, all right minutes. Another one is Jack DeBell, and he's been last 2 games as well. He's played big minutes. He played 80 last week, and this week he played 68 minutes. They're pretty meat and potatoes in terms of scoring. Not going to get much attacking upside, but discount options if you kind of want to throw in a forward in there.
I do like Corey Horsburgh. He's in it's him or Sipley for me this week. 62 and 56 in the last 2 weeks, playing 70 minutes plus. 38 and 34 points in tackles, both games. And then 25 points in hit-ups, both games. So you're getting safe as houses play. My problem is it just a bit too much for someone that you're going to have on your bench? I don't know.
I feel that's how I've been with Uda Kamanu all year. I feel like he's held me back a bit. I wish I had just went to two forwards and then 2 cheapies and just dealt with it if I had to swap it out when it happened for the 2 main positions, because that 400k there has been a bit awkward all year and haven't used him.
Yeah, for sure. We've got a comment here from Gazaraki, $2. Yay! Timmy, if Tigers win, you got to buy Luke Brooks. Deal? Ooh.
No. That's not
Maybe
happening.
He's not confident on the penny.
I hope he goes well. I don't know. I just don't want to buy Luke Brooks.
Or you got to wear a Luke Brooks jersey. You can do that instead.
Yeah, we can do that.
No, I don't win anything. I don't win nothing. Yeah, I'll wear a Tigers jersey. I'll play.
Guys, that $2 goes towards the end of year drinks, which location will be decided soon. So cheers for that donation. And I guess on the subject, head over to picklebet.com, where all the best markets for the Australian sporting rugby league, AFL, horse racing. There's a lot of horse racing, and got sent the analytics the other day, and apparently horse racing is one of the better bet things people have signed up with our code betting on. So it's crazy. I think there was on one Saturday, there was 75 bets on horses, and there was 30 bets on rugby league, which is absolutely crazy from new signups. So
70 of them probably you, mate.
They probably are, to be honest. With Picklebet, they have the top 4 for racing, so you can bet on anyone in the top 4. It's a much nicer layout than a lot of other bookmakers. So go check it out. Use the code TURBO when signing up, and guys, join the cult, because a lot of people have been joining, and I think they love it. Make sure to know what you're gambling with. For free and confidential support, head over to gamblinghelponline.org.au. I didn't need a prompter then. Guys, we'll answer some questions, because there's a lot of questions just relating to our front row chat right here. And I stupidly bring up something about a second. Mustard Custard, love the name. Any love for Hudson Young? I think he will come into relevance origin time. But Jake, saw your little nod there. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, he's definitely on my watch list. He's at a 100k discount. We saw what he could do last year, and I think the Raiders are improving. They're not, being too flashy, but he's definitely on my radar as a second row to bring in for the origin period.
From
I bought Hudson Young when everyone else bought Pine. Sorry to cut you off. I just want to say I bought Hudson Young just before the buy last year, and it killed me. Everyone else got to Pine. It doesn't mean he won't do well this year over that period, but it hurt me last year. It was unimpressive. But out of that, he scored quite well beforehand and afterwards, which sucked. So
with Hudson
he's looking
Young
good at the moment.
Yeah, since his first 2 rounds, which caused pretty much his initial price drop, 66, 79, 55, 60, 60. So they're numbers that you're very happy with.
And that last one was with a sim bin as well. That last 60, I think I had a try.
Very nice. Peter Johnson, I'm thinking Fodawaker for Kepi. I've already got Haas and Tarpanay. So obviously you're looking for a third option this week. Fodawaker, what's he looking like at the moment? I think a couple of weeks ago when I was looking at all these options, Fodawaker was up there, and he's killed it since. But 59 and 67 the last 2 weeks, playing 65 minutes.
He's been going well.
500 I think Corey Horsburgh's pumping out similar minutes.
Yeah, I think maybe. I mean, if you head-to-head play, don't worry about it. But if you're playing head-to-head, I mean overall, go for maybe a buy player. In the couple that we've mentioned, I think over Fodawaker, you can maybe get a bit of a discount as well on a Horsburgh.
That's it. Patrick Hayden.
Play the first buy, won't he, or not?
Nah, Titans.
Titans
have
don't play the
bye.
first bye.
Patrick Hayden, Max King.
He looks a
is
lot
al-
better for NRL than he does for SuperCoach.
Max King is also a jewel, says Patrick Hayden. Max King is a brilliant buy. 600K though, I think
Same as the
I'd like to go Tarpanay over that. And I guess that's all answer for now. We got Maxi in the chat. Lads, any love for Critter as a center wing option? Geez.
Yeah, last week.
Yeah.
Got him last week.
Although thinking about it, if Cleary's out, even if he's not out, he's potentially goal kicking. So it could be a nice little cash grab over the next couple of weeks. So it probably is something to think about, but really taking from the Michael Ardard book here of asking us if the high scoring player is a buy from the week before. Bloody Mikey. All right, guys.
Slight Smoky as well. Slight Smoky for Origin as well, I think. He's Smoky, not a sure thing in any way. Just if Turbo doesn't play in the centres because he's not fit enough and, rules himself out for whatever reason, probably Campbell Graham gets that spot, but Crichton with his pen connection and a lot of the other Penrith inside could be a potential Origin player. And I think he's not the best Supercoach option either.
Very good segue, Timmy.
He doesn't do that every week.
Very good segue, Timmy, because we're going to chat these kind of buy options and who to avoid and who to keep an eye on. Reece Walsh, he's a very popular fullback option, and it's very tough. He's got a bit of a tough run coming up, and I don't know if he's on the top traded out this week. I'll just fact check that, but I think it could be the week to nearly move off him. But if you're not moving off him, he's actually not in the top traded out. Tom Trbojevic is. So I guess we can put Tom Trbojevic in this same category as well. Origin is coming. Reece Walsh, he's in the conversation. Obviously, with Ponga having a successful return on the weekend, less likely if Ponga stays fit. But I see well where your Kalen Pongas, your Tom Trbojevic just kind of say, I need to get fit before I play Origin. And someone like Reece Walsh comes into conversation. If you're holding on to Reece Walsh for round 13, I probably wouldn't be relying on it. But what's your take on this one, Timmy?
I've been tossing this one up hard because I've got him. I was pretty tempted to sell him last week. Didn't do it, which a little bit hurt me because obviously got the low score, and I sort of thought this is going to start happening with the harder draw he's facing. He looks great at the moment. It's really hard to sell him last week because he'd been pumping out nearly hundreds every week. The thing is, if you do sell him now, it does regress a bit over the next couple of weeks. We can probably pick him up at a discount for 13 if he does still have that availability for us. I think that Ponga will. I've got a big feeling that Ponga will still play for them. The only Walsh being ruled out is if he was 18th man, which is a possibility. But yeah, you could sell him. I'm probably going to sell him because of the value. I was tempted to sell Tommy, but I've got a gut feeling that Tommy won't play Origin based on his fitness, and he might be available for round 13. So, and he's such a low price at the moment, Tommy. It does too. If they do name him this week, he's definitely right to go. But I also have a feeling that they're not going to name Tommy this week. I heard Cherry Evans speak on Channel 9, I think it was, on the news. And he said, look, guys, we're giving him, through the week to get through it. If he misses a week, so be it. All we really care about is having our best side come the back end of the year. And just reading into that, I've got a feeling they're not going to play him this week. But if they do, he's definitely right to go because they've got KO weeks there. They've got, they could move things around. They could have Ruben Garrick and bring one of those. What's that other bloke that was 1 million kilos? Is he off suspension yet? That fella?
Raymond
Funga?
Yeah.
Yeah, that big boy.
I think he was only suspended 2 weeks, but yeah, I think I'm on your kind of thought process, Timmy. I think there is a good chance he calls stumps for Origin this year. I think just how he's looked and all the criticism he's got, I think he will be prioritizing getting to 100%. And if he plays Origin and gets injured, you can imagine what's going to be said about him. I know NRL players don't really care about these sorts of things, but deep down they probably
It's
do.
more about his
So,
club. He's a real clubman. Like Tommy Trbojevic loves the Manly Sea Eagles, and
Yeah.
he will do anything he can to, do the right thing by the club, I think. And obviously, play Origin, he's never going to miss out on his opportunity out this year or last year. You know what I mean? He's had that for different reasons. Just wanted to sort of be available for his club and put his best foot forward for the Bunnies. But yeah, I can see Turbo. I'd love to see him play. I'd love to see him back to full fitness and playing for the Blues, but I don't think it's going to happen.
Jake, he's probably at the value where you don't get much out of him either.
Yeah, I mean, he's back down to what he started at, Tommy Turbo. I think Reece Walsh, if you want to get rid of him, bank the cash, use it elsewhere, and then, like Timmy said, pick him up and in 13 if Ponga is not good to go. Queensland have made it pretty obvious that they don't like changing a winning team. They won the series last year. So as long as Ponga's fit, I think he'll be playing fullback and Reece Walsh will miss out. They're not going to carry an extra utility on the bench where they've already got Harry Grant and Ben Hunt taking up to those spots. So I think Reece Walsh.
One other thing.
Yep.
I kind of want to hold Walsh for next week for Magic Round against Manly. I'm going to Magic Round, just watching him. It's going to kill me if he's like ripping it up. And I think he can rip it up against Manly. Against Manly, but the guy I'll be selling Reece Walsh to this week, if anyone, will be Teddy. And I've looked at that and I'm like, oh, well, Teddy in round 10 for Magic Round actually has the Cowboys, who I think could probably put on just as good a performance as Walsh. I hate selling players that I've grown very fond of in my side, and especially when they go well the next week. I'm sure you sort of felt a bit like that about Latrell, although it funded everything you needed to do. It's tough seeing a bloke you had in your side just keep killing it. You kind of.
I was quite content with the move actually, just because like it banked me 200K, and the person I sold him to only got 25 points less, and I was able to get in someone like Hines. So like overall, the people I sold to get the people I got, I worked out like 30 points better off. So that's the way I looked at it. It was a bit annoying though. Like, had I just waited another week to get in Hines, I could have done that, and Latrell would have made money, and Latrell made another 100K. Teddy lost more money, so I would have banked more money by doing that trade this week, but I would have been in absolute carnage and not been able to get in Teddy at all this week. So I think it's worked out for the better, and yeah, I guess that's it. Joey Manu, absolute killing it at 5'8", one game at 5'8", 13 runs, one try, 60 points just in non-attacking stats. Jake, how'd you see the game, and how was Manu?
I mean, early on, he kind of doesn't seem like that busy, but you look at the stats, he had 13 runs. It's just a tackle bust that he gets. Throwing, tackles that he's getting sitting one in from centre, hands on the ball more. He lost cash this week, so I think now's kind of the time to go and grab him. I think he's only going to do the same thing he did last week. He has pretty decent matchups against a depleted Warriors side next week, Cowboys who can't defend. So I think, Joey Manu, he looked fantastic, and I think I see why 20% brought him in last week, and there's more bringing him in this week.
For Joey Manu, his stats actually weren't impressive for him. So like his running stats were no different. It was the tackles that really bumped him up in them base stats. So 26 tackles on the weekend when he's been averaging about 15 tackles a game. So I think, it was pretty close, and I think he can bump up that base stats with the tackles. But like his runs, only 19 points in runs. The tackle bust, 16 points in tackle bust. That's his top scores for the year in tackle busts. And I think playing at 5'8", it's only going to get better. He's only going to do that more consistently. So I like him. I didn't get him in last week, and I chose Tedesco over him. Stupidly enough, I probably should have just gone Manu, but I'm getting him in this week. But another weird benefactor of this move, Joseph Suaalii. He's gotten the goal kicking, and dare I say, he's actually a pretty good goal kicker.
Yeah, good goal kicker, but we didn't really see anything but goal kicking from him on the week.
Yeah.
That try disallowed. But you got to think the attacking stats will probably come from him. But yeah, an extra 20 points in goals potentially every week is pretty gold for a centre wing. I mean, everyone had their homes and pretty similar.
Heavily discounted, 489,000 with the goal kicking, with the Warriors, Cowboys, Penrith, St George, Bulldogs coming up. Pretty mixed draw, and they've got a bye in round 13. But I don't know. I think he could be a little sneaky pod play. Looking at his ownership is 10%. I think that would have been a lot of people who jumped on him at the start of the season who don't really know SuperCoach. But I don't know. I think you could chuck a flyer if you don't have the cash to get a Manu or Garrick. Timmy?
Yeah, I don't mind it. I just felt like on the weekend, not that it really matters for SuperCoach, there was a few defensive errors from him as well. There's a potential he'll play Origin. Not that he's going to cover you for 13 anyway, but, just might miss a game around that as well.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think there's probably better options. I'd probably prefer, if I was going to go against a round 13 play, I'd probably look at, I don't mind who you picked up last week, Jake and Katoa. I think they've got a pretty good draw, the Sharks, and he's probably about 100K more, but I'd feel a bit more confident with him on the back of your boys' attack and, yeah, especially on a wing rather than in a centre.
Staying on the premium centre wings, Ruben Garrick has been moved to centre. Jake, what's your thoughts on this one?
I think it's bad for him. Manly centres really have not done anything. He's only in the left centre where Brad Parker's played and has done nothing. I don't know. I mean, his tackles go up, but the runs come down, so that probably levels off. But he's less likely to score a try playing at centre over the wing. So I think it's going to hurt him.
I hate it.
It's a bad thing for all those that brought him in last week. It's a bit of a killer.
I actually, when I heard the news preseason that he was going to go there, I actually loved it, but I didn't think SuperCoach wise. I think it's a good move for himself because I think he can really shift. He offers more than a winger does, in my opinion. And he can shift from fullback to center when possible, and it allows him to be more involved in the team. With Tommy being so tender, but it's a tough one for SuperCoach, and I think for someone that doesn't own, just wait and see. Have a look.
Big BE again.
Yeah.
Big BE. Dropped a lot of money last week. Probably going to drop similar sort of money again this week, and you can pick him up at a real discounted price and lock him in there for Origin period, which would be nice.
I do have to say, I think him and Brad Parker are very different players. Brad Parker can't really ice attacking plays, whereas I think Garrick has a lot more opportunity to do that. Maybe they will. Like Brad Parker seems to just fuck the play up. Yeah, they'll pass the ball, and he'll somehow step off the wrong foot and just kill the play. Like I think he will see more love out there, but I don't know how much more he actually will get. All right, Tyrell Sloan. He's the most traded in this week, coming off a 90. Jeez, I own Sloan, and I don't know if I'd be rushing to get him in.
He's a roller coaster, isn't he, Savs? It's 91 week, 10 the next week. I mean, he has some all right matchups. He got, I think, the Dogs this week, so probably gets a decent score there. And I think it was at halftime, he might have been on 1 point, and then second half he came and had an absolute blinder. So it's very up and down roller coaster. It's going to make money, but by the time you're going to get rid of him after the bye, he's probably lost that money as well. So
yeah, that's my worry. I don't like how he's made his money so quickly. Coming off at 85 and 90, negative 36 break even, could go up to 600K, but Jesus, there's a world.
What did you pick him up at?
I picked him up at 300K, so I've had him in my side for a while. I was always going to hold on to around 13, but I think he'll be a handy play in round 13. I just think like a fullback in the center wing, it's going to be a handy play in round 13 for sure. All right. Moving on. we've got some questions here. So thoughts on Garrick to centers? We said that. Dodsy, thoughts on Goz as a downgrade? Plays both 13 and 16. Wouldn't be in my 17, just buy cover. I think I like the Goz as a buy. 80 minutes on the weekend. Jake?
See, I have this exact same conundrum. It's as sort of a downgrade. Him or Tyrone Peachy. Both have negatives. Gazowski, the issue is Luke will be back next week or potentially next week off that hemi injury. You can put him down to round 13 though, because Jeremiah Nanai will most likely play Origin.
Really?
I think so. He played for him last year. I don't think Queensland.
Maybe Fafita takes his spot though.
Yeah,
Fafita
that's what I think. Yeah,
he's been a bit out of form. But I see what you mean. They do pick and stick. There's and maybe in Origin he's got what they want, a bit of that attack. Near close to the line. He's good under a high ball, close to the line. But yeah, if someone's going to drop out for Fafita, which someone has to, I think he's just Fafita's putting his hand up and picking himself. He might be the guy that goes.
It's Invader. Never trusted Todd Payton forward. We've seen that before. But I guess back on him, on the round 16 one where the Cowboys will play, he probably won't play because they'll have Lukey back if he doesn't get injured again. And Griffin Neem, who they were playing on the edge ahead of him until he did that injury, is due back around 15. So he potentially might not be there for round 16. And if they don't pick Nanai, he's probably not going to be there in round 13 either.
He's a pretty solid cheapie. There are a few cheapies going around this week. Jared Croker, one of them. What are our thoughts on Jared Croker? Named again. Xavier Savage named a fullback in New South Wales Cup. There's also Tyrone Peachy, who gets a bit of time with Tago out. Where do we rank him, Jake?
Man, I don't know. Peachy's only available at second row, which is why it's either him or Gazowski for me. Croker, Xavier Savage is probably the only one that's going to punt him out of his spot because Seb Chris will go back to centre. Kotrick returning.
I reckon they drop up away though.
Yeah, but then they got to push someone out to the wing. Do they push Croker out to the wing? They're not going to put Timoko out there.
No, I don't reckon they would. I reckon
Seb Chris goes wing. Really? I think because the best part of Seb Chris's game playing fullback was not his ball playing; it was his yardage. His yardage. So by putting him to wing, you don't. You still keep that.
Throw another one when Kotrick comes back, which he's out this week. That's why Rapana came straight in for him. Kotrick back in a couple of weeks.
Kotrick's overrated. Overrated.
Yeah, but I think he's going to find a spot.
But he's going to get. Yeah, he will.
I don't know. I just think maybe they drop Jack Whiten.
They put who at 6?
It'd be interesting.
Imagine that. Imagine Sticky.
Oh, that'll be a big to Jack Whiten, wouldn't it?
Oh, okay. Here's a great question. We haven't talked about him, but will Hopgood play 80? Now, I'm not going to say yes.
RCG's out.
RCG's out. He's starting at 13. I love Hopgood as a buy or as a hold. I love him as a buy too.
Yeah, definitely as a hold. I think Timmy still has him, so he's slightly cheering in that head of his. But yeah, I don't know if he plays 80. I think Maddo and him both demand big minutes, and they got to spread the minutes out somewhere. So I think Cartwright or Dewey will come onto the edge. Maddo go in the middle rotation. So I don't know. They're both
one injury during the game, one injury during the game. He plays massive minutes, so he's going to play big minutes now.
Though he can't be relying on injuries.
No, but they're happening every week, man. Nearly in every game, I think people get it's crazy.
It really is. It's crazy. Steve
like
Carter.
Tom Arley. Well, I was going to buy Tom Arley in a panic moment last week, and he would not that it was a great purchase because it was ridiculous. It was just because I didn't want to buy Croker, and I needed a downgrade. But look at the Warriors last week; they one bunch of injuries. It just
and he stayed on the field. He stayed on the field. He was like someone who benefited from it. It's funny because when all these injuries happened, I wasn't thinking like usually my first thought would be, geez, Adam Fanil-Blake's going to get more minutes here. No, my thought was, fuck, Tom Harley's going to get more minutes than I thought he would. And he did. He got 36 minutes, but 33 points. Guess you're glad you didn't do that, right?
Yeah, but I was going to sell Welch potentially. It's a dumb move. It was just a panic. I was trying to find someone in the last 2 games to avoid getting Croker because I've heard that Croker was not going to get named this week, which he has, which is fantastic. So, yeah, glad didn't do it though.
Happy days. All right. We've got a question here quickly from Corey Elton. Any love on Jack DeBellin? Jake did mention him before as an option.
Him or Horsburgh, both decent options.
523K, 80 minutes 2 weeks ago, 52, 63 on the weekend with 68. I like
meat and
Corey.
Potatoes, though. He doesn't have, both of them don't have upside.
I like Corey Horsburgh better. How funny is this? 3 of the top 6 are Dragons fans in the rankings.
How do you
They're
know
all
the names?
Oh, in overall.
Yeah, their symbols are, well, 3rd is Dragons 2023 Prems, 4th is Red V Mania, and 6 is his symbol is Red V. So
I think it's Year of the Dragon in Chinese year. I could be wrong because I was looking at that.
The rabbit, I think it is.
Oh, it is too. Yeah.
Also, first, has he looked it up already?
Who?
What do you mean? He's only 200 ahead.
First, he's 200 ahead of second.
And we've got forever to go. We've got like 18 rounds to go, mate.
It's a nice lead to have, but it's a long way for. I'd be good and comfortable for him. Yeah,
400 ahead of 10th, and he's
calm down.
He's only 550 ahead of 100. So there's still a lot of people on his tail.
You can.
I'd be more worried about the bloke that's ranked around 200 and something. I think it could be not Year of the Rabbit. I think it's Year of the Salmon. So we'll see what happens.
I think I'm going to run out of trades.
Keep positive, brother. You're going great.
Speaking of trades, guys, what are we doing this week? I'll start with you, Jake. What are you trading?
Well, just like Jai Hawkins has sort of mentioned, he has a party keep going. It's dead. The party's over. He's going. Haven't made up who to. It's either Jack Gajewski or Tyron Peachy. Both we just talked about there. Don't like him. But the other one is Jacob Preston I'm getting rid of. He's going to Joey Taps. It allows me kind of a dual, and that's via Ben Murdoch-Masila, who's become golden for me in terms of duels this weekend. Down the road when I have to cover Gilbert as well. So I'm like BMM.
Are you going to be a bit? Is it going to feel dirty having Ben Murdoch-Masila in your second row?
Yeah, but he's only there for a week. It's all right. I can.
Yeah.
Bring back his me big front rower later.
Yeah, fair enough. Because I'm doing a similar thing to get Horsburgh or Sipley in, and it feels weird. Timmy, what are you doing this week?
I'm definitely going to wait till Friday. I know that I'm not making any moves in the Cronulla Cowboys game, so I'm going to lock my decisions in Friday. I probably will need to make some decisions by the Brisbane game because I think I'm probably selling Reece Walsh. A part of me might talk myself out of that because I want to hold on to him for Magic Round. But, I just think watching him at Magic Round while I'm on the beers is going to kill me. So I'm going to have a few of them, I can imagine. And other than that, I said before, probably Utakamano to Pine. If I don't do those, I don't know what else I'd do. I've been looking at it going, I wouldn't mind the sell of Katoa, Eli Katoa. But I'm not really overly sold on some of the downgrades, and that wouldn't fund enough for me to do some other things, I don't think. Well, I could still downgrade Walsh, but if I wanted to avoid that, I wouldn't be able to fund decent things. So, look, it's probably going to be Walsh and Tarpany for me. Sorry, Teddy and Tarpany.
Teddy? Oh, yeah, Teddy and Tarpany. I like it. Good trades. Me, myself, this week, I'm doing Munster to Brown. I'm boosting again this week.
How many boosts left, Savs?
I've got none after this week.
No, you're right. They're overrated. You don't need them.
Yeah, I don't think so. I've saved a few trades here and there, so I think I'll be right in that regard.
Good way to do it, bro, with all the carnage. If it just gets you that one extra player, especially with the amount of Penrith players and Storm players you've got, I think it's ideal. I'd be doing it so you don't have a catastrophe.
Because I got 3 Melbourne players. What I'm doing, Munster to Brown. I don't feel great about it. Like, I can hold on to Munster and play Katoa, but it does kind of fund things. So maybe, I don't know, maybe
It's worked for you. It worked for you previously. So I just think back yourself, man.
Yeah. And my other trade is Ellie Katoa to Corey Horsburgh at the moment. So that leaves me with 63K in the bank. Maybe I go down to Sipley because he's going to be a third guy. I don't know. I think
Horsburgh's kind of fun to have. It's good to have a redhead in your side, and he's a fun bloke. He's pretty emotional. I like him, and he scored 2 tries the other week, which was kind of a little bit exciting as well. That's a potential. He has done it. He can do that. I can do it. I like it. I like it better than Sipley. I think he's got more pedigree.
Yeah, I think so too. Captain choices and bold predictions. Do we ever even follow through with our bold predictions? I don't know if we've even got one right this year, but Jake,
you brought in Chips, was it 2 weeks ago? And that could have been a punishment, but we kind of haven't all been in the same area since. You weren't
even
here.
I'm
glad I wasn't there. I didn't want to try it, but
you were actually messaging us saying don't eat it till the end of the show because
because I thought you might have got like the ones with it's like a single packaging chip.
Oh,
those ones are absolute death. Like the tiny little bit, if you have that, you're gonna die. But yeah, you must have got like a full packet, obviously.
Actually, do you actually die?
Oh no, but
no,
just like that. You won't die. You can't sell something that's gonna kill you. No, metaphorically, you're gonna die.
I guess like cigarette.
Like one of my mates had one, and he was drinking jugs of milk for like half an hour. So it's not fun.
Yeah, Timmy's on the lag. We're gonna finish up soon. Yeah. So bold predictions and captain. Let's go captains. Just captains. Yeah. Fuck bold predictions, unless anyone wants to do one.
Nah. No, the viewers don't really care either because we're not following through with it. But captains,
I'd just be making it up.
Yeah.
Have we just abolished the bold predictions segment?
I think so.
I think we have.
But captains wise, VC. I'm not going to straight captain Hines. I'm going to VC Hines. Captain, though, I don't know. I'm thinking maybe David Fafita. I think he's due a try. I'm thinking maybe him as a bit of a smoky captain.
I actually don't mind that.
I don't really like Tom because it's a good chance he might not play or he's playing not at 100%.
The last time David Fafita played at Manly, he scored 120 points. He scored a double and a try assist. So
he hasn't scored a try yet this year. I think he's due.
And he averages very well against Manly. I like it. He's going to be a nice pot option in a tough week. Timmy, what? Actually, I'm going to go captain and Turbo.
What if Turbo doesn't play? Still captaining Turbo and get Hines a score?
You said that in the chat. I thought you were talking crap, but you're really going to do it?
He's Turbo against the Titans.
Yeah, I know that, but he came off a groin injury.
He played the Tigers last week. I just wouldn't do it despite you.
I know,
man. I just think it's brave.
4 Pines Park.
I wouldn't do it.
See, the thing is,
you better go on Teddy, mate.
The thing is, if he plays, he's probably right to go. But that being said, if they do get a lead at all, he'll go off. Or if they're down at all, he'll go off.
Yeah,
he'll go off early.
It's a risky one. Cool payoff, but
I don't know. I'm just thinking he's the guy. He's the guy this week.
If you're feeling it, mate, do it because you're going to be absolutely.
He's one of the only people that do it as well. Like literally one of the only people.
I'll tell you what. I feel like this week is exactly how all season has gone. Everyone's always gone off the person when they've gone low, and then they always come back high and always the most sold. Like he's the most sold this week, and he's named to play. Like it's not a major injury or anything. He just went off because it was aggravated. So if he doesn't play, well then I'll eat some chips next week. But actually, that being said, next week we're in the Picklebet studio, guys. It has been pushed back a couple of weeks, but we're finally there. We had to curve out the little fine details of things. The cast.
Lucky we weren't there, right, today?
Yeah.
Was in the studio today. So.
Jesus. Timmy put a tweet on Twitter about Blocker, and it blew up. It got like 30,000 views. And Blocker was in the Picklebet studio today, so it would have been an awkward encounter for Timmy because it was not a very positive video about Blocker either.
Yeah, I don't like to be critical of stuff, but I just, there you go.
You're going to have to watch your mouth because, bloody, there's always going to be people like that in the show before us because they got a pretty high-profile show on what's before us. The cast, guys, we're going to try and get everyone on as often as possible, but because it's in the city, we live in Penrith, so it's pretty hard to get to be honest. So we'll try our best, and after a few weeks, if we're finding it's better just doing it from Bella Vista, then that could be an option. We don't know. We're just gonna see how this goes. We've got a team behind us that's willing to back us. They've got a whole crew there with the production, so I think it's going to be great for us. And excited, Timmy?
Yeah, man. Bloody oath.
See Blocker?
No, I don't know about that. He'd smash me, man. I'll just shat myself. I'd have walked in there today. Absolutely shat myself.
That would have been so funny. I wish we were in there today. But yeah, we're there on Tuesday. We're there on Tuesdays now. Our time slot will be 6:30 or 7 o'clock. One thing I do want to say, just SuperCoach wise, quickly, I think this week Jesse Ramian and Ronaldo Mulatalo aren't being speaked about enough as options.
Both quite expensive though.
They are.
Yeah, I think that's why.
Yeah. Jesse Ramian had a quiet game. But any of the Sharks' backs, they could go big. And even Talakai, I mean, he hasn't really thrown a punch yet, but maybe he's due one.
And Britton Nikorok looks bloody good.
Oh, he's
bloody good.
Sharks back points bet. I think Mulatalo is the play. But
as long as he knows where his hand is when he's going for the try.
Bloody hell. 700K is a lot to pay for him. I think Ramian, I love Ramian as an option. I know he hasn't done much.
Didn't he burn you last week on the weekend, Savage?
He did burn me. I put some money on him to score a try, and it was quite a bit of money. And what did he do? He nearly went over, didn't he?
We nearly went over a couple times.
Twice. Yeah.
Not good. All right. I'll do it.
Well, Tim Moody, you didn't mention your captain just before.
You didn't mention your captain.
I'm probably going to go Manu or Teddy. I think I'll VC Hines. I just locked Hines in this week, but because of the amount of ways to loop, look, I still might do it just because I cold feet. I've been trying to loop all year and it's not really working out for me, so I might just lock him in. I don't know. See how I feel Thursday night. Yeah. Shit.
It's so crazy how
tomorrow
we used to do podcasts every Wednesday, and we gave the listeners one day to listen to it. That's the story.
Yeah. I like that we've moved to Tuesdays. It's a lot better. It's fresh where team lists have come out. Does allow people to sort of, if they're busy, they can catch up on it the day after. It's good.
So the top, Nico Hines is still 50% captain by the top 1%. And
they've probably just left it there too.
Yeah, he's 50% by the top 5%. So I don't know if that's going to change. I think he's like no injury cloud, good matchup, home stadium. He's a pretty good option.
He will be the most captain for sure.
Timmy, are you doing your SC Lurker weather report this week?
Nah, but ban my weather reports, man. After 1 week, it was only you that bloody threw me off because you told me it was running at Manly when it wasn't, and then I fucking was like, "Oh, I'm not doing this now." So yeah, look, I'm not doing them anymore. It's not for me. There's too much error in weather reports, and I don't want to be bloody getting the criticism that the bloody I gave Walker.
That's what weather reporters do anyway. All right, guys. We've bragged on enough, but cheers, guys. Enjoy your SuperCoach, and hopefully you get through most of this before game one starts. So cheers, guys, and make sure head over to Picklebet, use code Turbo.
Cheers.